Hello, everyone, and welcome to class. Hi, Danielle. How's it going?
Hey, Rachel, it's good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so excited to have you to kick off this special month here at the shop. We're calling it Brio Month because it's one of those shapes that I think a lot of people love, but they also have challenges with. The hole doesn't go like straight through like a round bead. And so it's a little trickier to figure out how to string it, how to wire wrap it. And so we're going to just share inspiration all month long, and you're going to be a big part of that, which is wonderful.
I'm so excited. I love Brios, so this is going to be an adventure for me.
Mm-hmm. I know they are so special. Here, I got to show everyone. I don't want to hold back.
Yes.
Look, you guys, we have so many brand new Brios in the shop. So when we say Brios, that's our like cute nickname for briolette, which would be like, the very French and very official name of briolette. For these, oh my God, I just want to like hold it up so you can see all of it.
Get the color.
So we got this huge batch of them that are all hand cut in India. It's a mix of what's called the pear shape and the heart shape. So some of these right here would be the pear shape of these fasted briolettes. And then the ones that are kind of a little, I guess, a little squatter, a little wider, is what we call a heart brio. And so I sent over to Danielle both some hearts and pear brios. And these also can be a little tricky because they have a smaller hole. A lot of the beads that are cut in India do. And so that can be a little tricky. So we're going to explain, how to make that work as well. So we've launched, we've been slowly adding these to the store over the last month, but then we added a bunch of new ones today. They haven't even been seen on a live sale. They're on the app and the website for the first time. So you can check that out. You can see them here. So yeah, I'll add that right there. This is our Friday kickoff to Brios month. This is the first day. So Danielle, why don't I add your screen and you can tell us how you got inspired?
Yeah, it was so inspiring when I opened up. So you said these are heart brios, the little ones. And so this would be the pairs. I'll have to fix that on the PDF because I think I called these both pairs. But one of them,
no problem.
And then this was the pyramid brio, right?
Exactly. Another cool shape.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just went crazy. I love also the little tassels. I really love those.
Right? I know so you guys saw all of them have tassels at the end. It's kind of signature for the strands cut in India.
Mm-hmm.
They're meant, they decorate the strands. So I guess why not add it to your jewelry as well?
Sure. I save these and I use them on earrings a lot of the time. But I thought this was really cool as also just a little decorative end for my bracelet. So yeah, I added that there. And then I also made some earrings, but I couldn't resist putting them on. So let me bring those down. These are
my favorite.
all three different shapes together.
Yes.
And I really love
that little. Oh my God, the way that it hangs and dangles. And I love that we get so we're going to, as you can see, we're going to go over how to wire wrap these different shapes in this very cohesive way on the earrings, which I think that's kind of the first question everyone has with Brios is like, how do I wire wrap them? So we're going to cover that today.
Yeah, for sure. And then how to wire and also how to string them because even though stringing, seems like a natural thing to do with something this shape with a top drill, the way they're going to hang, you really want to play with spacing. And so that's something else we can chat about.
Yeah, I can definitely see that in the designs. Okay, well, we're going to start with the earrings because I think that's what a lot of people are curious about. So tell us what materials, besides the beads, what are the other materials that you used?
So you're going to need some 24 gauge is what I was able to get to work really nicely with all of the brios, and there was no trouble getting that to fit. I had a few different colors in mind. I ended up going with the vintage bronze because I thought that looked so neat with the green, but you could go with any color. And then tools, you're going to want a kind of a suite of tools here, starting with your flush cutters. So, you can cut your wire. And then you're going to probably want to have some nylon jaw. They will make the wire, number one, easier to work with. And I feel like also it helps me to get a smoother result if I use these kind. And Some other little things I have around are the round nose pliers. We're definitely going to want to use those. You could use bail forming or stepped bail making pliers.
Yeah.
And then I have a bunch of little other pliers here. So when we get to the jump rings, I like to do bent nose and square nose to do my jump rings. That's just a me thing. You could just use chain nose. And then I have two different versions of fine. I call these fine tip, even though they actually are crimping pliers as well, which we'll use on the necklaces. But I also use them to tuck my tails.
Yeah.
Little trick I got from Neely, but it totally works. And then this is another pair of fine chinos you could also. So I have all that stuff. Those are my go-to things.
You have a good collection there. That's nice.
Yeah, those are my real tools that I really, really use every day. Like they're
your favorite.
My favorites. Yeah.
And then the tier cast that I sent you, just so everyone knows, we're using some actually tier cast jump rings. We got a last batch up today of these that we bought during their closeout last year. And so that's the size, that's a 3x4 millimeter inside. So we're using those in copper. And then we also have, there they are. And we also have hammer tone oval rings from TierCast. So we're going all antique copper today for all the TierCast.
Yes, definitely beautiful, beautiful. And I just threw some ear wires from my leftover pile of things that I'm hoarding from my tier.
Your stash, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I did do a little photograph guide for how this is done, just an overview of the steps. But to make one of these is all you got to do with each of the different brios. And then we just dangle them really easily, just make a chain. And I just did 4 jump rings for my chain. And each one has either the connector or a brio suspended.
Okay.
So that's pretty much the entire design. So the part everyone wants to know is, the brio wrap style. And with something this dainty and lightweight, you can really make it make a light finish like this look really good, I feel like. So for the length, what I like to do is just eyeball it, but you can probably just make a little guess. 3 inches is a safe number if you're trying to figure out how much to cut. And I usually don't measure, but anywhere between 3.5. You'll have extra, but that will help you with getting the maneuverability right with your wrapping. So I can even go over a little bit on that 3.5 measurement. And then I'll take and hold one end with some pliers. Just flip that around. And then we'll go ahead and we'll just flatten it and just get the spool memory to go away. And I noticed with the craft wire, the spool memory is not too bad. So, okay. So we got a pretty good start there. And let me grab some of my brios. And let's do the turquoise heart brio first. So how they look on the little buckles is right here. I'm just going to bring one of those down. Okay.
And so everyone knows the stone of those. They are chrysocolla faceted heart brios.
Oh, that's another thing I got to just update. I called it turquoise.
No worries.
There we go. And so I had no trouble getting 24 gauge to fit in any of the ones that I tried. But one thing I could give you as a tip is if one side is harder to feed through than the other, switch to the other side. And so in this case, this side was a little easier to get in than that side. One side's always going to be a little smaller, but it's easier to get the wire to exit out from it than to kind of try to feed it through that side.
Oh,
if
cool.
that makes sense. And then just bring it to the, roughly like, I would say a little more than a third. So like that. And let me do some measuring so it's helpful for folks. You can tell I don't really measure.
Once you've done it quite a few times, you get the hang of it. But yeah, that's helpful to even just see that laying there.
So I've got it a little over the 1 inch mark. It's actually super forgiving. So anything really is going to work for you there. And I probably have too much wire, but I always err on the side of caution. And so I want to make sure that I still have some wiggle on this. So I'm going to just kind of very gently Move it to make sure I can make it dance on there. If it's not moving, just air it out a little bit, meaning give it some space on either side. And this is so soft. I don't like to use tools right next to a brio like that. There we go. It's moving. So I will just very gently move up a little bit from the brio so it still has motion. And then just use your fingers.
You're saying you're using your fingers because you're a little worried about bringing tools in at this point.
Yeah, and also I just don't even really need them because it's so soft and so easy. And I can get, with my hands, I can get a more even result. Just from, you know, this with, usually if this was really strong wire or I was doing something with a more precise bend, I might take square nose and create that kind of like bend there with those.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that a lot with a 22 gauge, for example. But with this one, you know, we get a really nice result just with our hand. So kind of went with that. And so now I'm just going to get my round nose pliers.
And you have so you have a shorter end and a longer end, right?
Yeah. And again, this is super forgiving. You can get away with having it be too long is better than too short, but I probably have it too long right now. And you'll see in a minute why. I could have done less wire, but I'm going to use my round nose pliers, and I wanted to just take a look and gauge where I was on this one. That's about halfway. So I'm going to try to do the same thing here. And so at the point where I brought them together, that point right there is where I'm going to bring the round nose. And so just remembering kind of where I was on that other one, right about there. So we're going to bend the long one out of the way and just push it forward. And then I'm going to grab my flush cutter and I'm going to trim the short one just flush above the plier like that. And you can have it sticking up just a little. That's okay. All right. And so from here, all you got to do is adjust your pliers. We're going to adjust them up in this direction. Just like that. Still staying where we were. That's relative to the brio, they're like that. And then around the top. So we're just going to go rainbow over the top of the round nose pliers. Just like that. So you get that result there. And you'll reach a point where you can't go any further without hitting the bottom. So again, we're going to just adjust the pliers. Just going to turn them so we can continue that journey and make that. And so we get something that looks kind of like that. And we need to straighten it out, but it's pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead and put the round nose pliers back in, and I'm going to adjust it until I'm happy with the loop position. And I'd like the loop position to be in kind of a straight line above what I've got going on here. And so this is where I like to use my little chain nose, the ones I was showing you earlier. I like these for this. I just hold my loop in place. And this wire is so gentle I can do it with my hands, but I find I get a sharper coil if I grab another pair of pliers and pull a little bit harder.
Ooh,
when I
okay.
do it. But you can do this with your hand. It's totally fine. And I think this is why I waste wire a little bit, but got a nice sharp coil there. And then I'm just going to tuck them closed. I bet Rachel Malice could do this without having to do the tidying at the end, though. And I might do one more coil because I'm looking at this one and I'm seeing I did 4. So let's just do that one with hand. Okay. There we go. So it's super forgiving. Really easy. I'm going to trim the little end here.
I just love the openness that these have. Like I really love the open space in the wire and that it kind of mimics the shape of the stone itself. It has that teardrop in it. It's very elegant. I love that.
Me too. I think it's such a beautiful stone. And I really wanted to match the color in it. It has a bronze, like a little bronze hue to it. I'm hoping that's coming across on the camera. But that's what I was trying to pull out with this wire color.
Mm.
And I do think you could probably get away with using using even a German style here. But yeah, so those are pretty close. And they don't have to be exact. I think I made that one too tall, not a little too short. But I play with it and get it right. I think if I moved up my starting point a little closer, I'd have gotten a little tighter.
Okay.
I do play with them, and sometimes I make a set, and then if they don't match perfectly, but my brios are cute and the little loops look nice, I'll just make another one and save this for another piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
I do that a lot, but
Yeah.
if you take like a close look, you'll see they're not exact on this one either.
No, I like that too. You can kind of just be like, they don't have to be perfect. Why don't I make like 3 or 4, and the 2 that match the best will become earrings. And then you can either, use the others for a different project or just, cut off the wire. Either way.
Yeah, exactly. But I think even out of these 4 here, you can see they're all kind of different. But I don't really notice that when they're suspended in this nice little organic looking. And so those 2 brios have a really nice, peak on them. I noticed on the pyramid brios, they have a little taller peak. And so you want to give those more air, but it's easy to do. You just kind of bend them a little further away from the tip.
Would you show us on the pear brios next, the smaller ones?
Yeah, so is that the moonstone?
The sunstone. Yeah, it has that
Oh,
glitter in there.
Okay. Yeah, let me get some of those. These are so pretty. Okay. And let me try to make this one a little less, closer to the one I did here. I liked the height on that. So again, I'm just kind of eyeballing a good amount. Maybe I need about that much. And grab that side. I'm just going to push these out of the way so we keep our focus here. All right. So about that much. And let's go for about that. Another thought that I was just having in the moment is if you make these factory style like together, you may find more consistency as a result from. So at this point, set it down and do the same thing again.
Mm-hmm.
Or cut the wire together. So for example, before I used this, I could have cut it one just the same length and bent it at the same spots. All that could help with consistency, I think. So there's getting that to line up. I'm going to move the long one out of the way, and we'll trim the short one. Okay, so now I'm just going to adjust the plier so I can get a nice loop and bring that around until I can't go anymore, and then adjust it again. And take a look, and I'm going to make sure that I'm happy with the position of the loop. Now I think I like it just like that. And then I'm going to try to go around 4 times, really make sure I capture that tail in there. Let's try hands this time. So yeah, you can coil with a tool or you can coil with your hands, whichever. It's working really well for me either way. And one last little trick. I'm going to grab the fine side of these, which is that side. And then just tuck that in there really nicely like that. And I've always found those to be really secure. I know some folks do a little wrap on a heavier stone. They'll do a little wrap with the short end before they cut it. You can always do that here. I find I don't need it with something this dainty.
Yeah.
And things like check glass leaves, I like to do this with those a lot. Again, I feel like I don't need to do that extra coil, but if this was something heavier, like let's say it was a pendant, I would do that extra little wrap.
Cool.
That looks really neat. And it was so fun to work with all the different shapes that you sent. I really like, because this is one that was kind of new to me. I had not seen that before.
Yeah, the pyramid shape. I think it's new for a lot of people. And yeah, it's a really nice elongated shape. It has that, flat edge on the bottom.
Yeah.
And I like how it adds a little bit more length to the earrings.
That really made it. It did for all of the designs, actually. I feel like it really made it pop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just creates that balance. You have the two shorter ones and then that one in the center.
Yeah. Yeah, it came out so neat. So I could do a wrap on one of these. I think I might have a loose one.
Yeah, let's do it.
If I have a loose one or not. Oh, I did have a loose one, but I might have done something with it. Oh, I did. I did a messy wrap for the other project. I'll show it really quick. I've got something going on here where I played with the messy nest ones.
Oh, cool. So you just kept going with your wrapping.
Going like crazy, yeah. Same thing we just did.
All right, we've got to cut the strand then. It's okay.
I've been saving these little, I don't know. I feel like something's going to arrive as an idea for me for these, so I'm not throwing them out. I'm keeping them in a bag. And if I throw them out, I guarantee I'll get an idea.
Yeah.
So until I'm sure, they remain. Okay. So let's do one on here. And I'm just going for about the same length. It doesn't really need that much more. Oops. That's not going to help. There we go. Okay. And I just want to straighten out this side a little bit. This usually ends up being the side I trim, so I don't worry as much about it. Okay. I'm going to go for about there. And just pinch it right about there. Okay. Let me get those rounders back somewhere. Here we go. Bend that forward. Okay, so now we've got that in the pliers there, and I'm going to move the pliers up, bring the wire all the way around as far as I can go. When I can't go any further, I'll turn them again. And then I'm going to adjust that loop so it's centered right above. On this one, I'd like to make that nice and tight. There we go.
I hope for everyone watching, this is giving you the confidence to start wire wrapping some of your brios. I know it can be one of the more intimidating things with brios, but hopefully seeing this a few times, you can always watch the replay of the video, rewind and stop, and I hope you all will give it a try. It's a fabulous technique to have in your toolkit.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I hope you will love it. And here's these. And I do give it a little extra. So right here where we're tucking the tail, I'll try to adjust the loop as well so that it's flat in this direction.
Mm-hmm.
And there we go. So now we have everything we need to make one earring.
Perfect.
And I think I like that one with this. Yeah. And so all I did for the earrings was I grabbed a connector. And then I grabbed, for the bottom, you're going to want 4 jump rings. So here's 4 of those. For the top, you're going to need 2. Did I do 2 on the top? I believe I did. Yeah. Only because I just wanted it to have some motion. You could get away with 1. Okay. So let's grab my favorite pliers for this is So that one's ready to go. And I noticed these 3 were already connected, so, but they're not completely closed. So I'm just going to pop a brio onto each one, starting with green on the bottom. So just like that. And this one, I'm going to pop the sunstone. Did I do sunstone? Actually, no, I did the turquoise next. So let's do the turquoise. I'm going to copy what I did before. And I took that jump ring off because I want this to be the next thing that hangs like that. Now I'll put the jump ring on over it. Or you could just attach it at the end. Okay, so that one's good. This one, I'm going to open this one now and put the last brio on there. And before I close it, let's attach this one. And there it is. So easy. So pretty too.
Becky had a suggestion that this will look great as a focal piece of a necklace as well. Could definitely be used that way.
Yeah, that would be really pretty. Yeah. And I even thought about maybe, doing a few more also. Because this one, you just use each one, individually. But what if I had a longer chain of them, or even adding one more color, something like that would be really fun to do.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, someone should make a full rainbow. That would be amazing.
Oh my God, if somebody does that, I don't know. I'm going to have
colors.
Just love on that so much.
Yeah.
How cool would that be?
Amazing. All right, so what do we add to the top to finish it off?
Let's go ahead and grab an ear wire really quick. I know I brought those up with me. These are the last I've got.
Your tiara cast trash.
If I'd known, at the time I finally got the news, they were sold out already and I couldn't hoard or go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of just wish I had stocked up a little more. So I'm just going to pop that on there. And I could have just opened the jump ring. I always do things backwards. Don't know why. And this one, I'm just going to close it. It's a little open. And the second one down, just going to open that one up and we'll pop it onto the connector here. There we go. So quick and easy, but they're beautiful and you'll love them. You'll wear them all the time.
Oh my God, they're fabulous. So good.
Oh, thank you. I had a good time. Thank you for the brios. They're so beautiful.
Of course.
I have to send these to you. You're gonna love them when you see them in person because
I'm gonna wear them every day.
You are.
They're so my style. Like, it's amazing.
I think they're like everyone's style, but now you've got me hooked on this idea of doing a rainbow one because I really think that would be so cool. And you can cascade down in like a circle. How cool would that be?
All my dreams.
Yes.
Love that. Okay, so that is our earrings. So now let's make a bracelet to go alongside this. Yeah,
so I'm going to go ahead and just clear these for a second. And then what we do need is we're going to need some beading wire. And the brios do really nicely with the 0.014. That's what it was. And
yeah, so this is it says, folks can also see it says fine on it. We often use the medium soft flex. It's kind of the go-to, but the trick for stringing these today is to get that fine size. So we have it in black onyx, which is what I sent over to Danielle as well.
Ooh. Yeah, I love it. I think it's really pretty. So the bracelet, I did something a little different with the bracelet. It was pretty close to being almost identical to the necklace, except there was just a little bit of a different pattern. So let me just highlight that really quick. On this one, I did the same fan the little ruffle fan with the heart and pear. But I added a pyramid in the middle. On the necklace, it doesn't have that. The necklace is just a ruffle. And I wrote all this down in a little document, so you don't have to memorize. But this one, I thought, especially when you look at it lengthwise, move these just for a sec. It does really look like a little scalloping ripple effect.
It does.
So that just made me happy, just like it as it was, just like that. And this was the first thing I made. And it made itself. I didn't really even think about it. I just started stringing. I am curious what this stone is because I didn't see a name on the baggie.
Oh, yeah. The round stone. Yeah, that one is hematoid quartz. It is also called blood quartz in the industry.
Interesting.
So yeah, a type of quartz.
It looks like a little universe inside each one. Very galactic looking. I loved it. And so I did use that on the bracelet and necklace. Used each of the brios on the bracelet and just 2 on the necklace. And then the seed beads, I just showed those. Those are spacers we're going to use on basically between every bead. And then there were 2 other little extra pretty things that, hey, if you send me check glass, I will use it because I love. So this was some fire polish turquoise. And I have a few left of those. And then this one, I used every single one between the necklace and the bracelet. I used all of them. In fact, no, I used all of them on the necklace. There aren't any in the bracelet. So we could put this one. Yeah.
Yeah, the edge structs, they're great. They were from our July bead box.
Oh, they were. Well, they just went so nicely with that. See how that came over? That's so cool. Okay, so those we don't need because I can see I just used the gemstone. I think I was out and I didn't want to break that other strand in case we needed that to demo. But I did have quite a lot of these left over. Okay, yeah, that's all we need.
Yeah,
so
the 3mm ones. Cool.
I probably will need to break this one open though. We'll do that when we get to it. So do you work from the spool? I'm a spool worker.
Oh, interesting. Like as you're threading the piece, you leave it on?
Yeah, like so I'll unspool a little bit of it. Probably more than I need. And then just pop that little, stabilizer right there. And then I'll just start working with the end. And that way I save a lot of my, you could also clasp one end, but then you end up with a little bit of waste. But it's okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna need those. Okay. So the measurement for this bracelet is 7 inches. And if you follow the pattern, you'll get a 7-inch bracelet. But what you'll want to do is, I started with just a little fire polish beginning. And so I went right to, size 11 seed bead. And I did that twice. So there's 1.
And those are a size 3mm fire polish, if folks are curious.
Oh, yes. Yeah, 3mm. And then the seed beads are 11/0. I'm chasing them around. Okay. So just to start with a little repeat of that. And then we'll go right into the gemstone. I've got one here. They're so clear, you can almost not tell where the little hole is. Okay, so there's that. Oh, the focus is
and these quartz rounds are part of our launch today. So we threw in a few other goodies besides the Brios. So these are brand new on the app today.
Oh, I was looking for them and I didn't see them earlier. So they must just literally like
just in the last hour. Yeah. As well as the tiara cast. So like those oval hammer tone links, even the 3x4mm jump rings, the clasps that we're using, all the tiara cast is now on the app and the website as of like an hour ago.
Get them before I do. Because I'm coming for these. I'm going to chase the bead around.
Well, I knew I had to include Sunstone in this because when we were designing the August box in 2023 for our collaboration bead box, Sunstone was one of the first things that you picked out. And so that was why I sent you those Sunstone pear brios. Because I was like, I know Danielle likes these.
Oh, you got me. You know me.
Yeah. And then these quartz beads are just so interesting. And yeah, I like that they have some of that clearer quartz quality in them. So they have that lighter feel to them. So yeah, they were a good match.
They are. I feel like they're when I first looked at them without looking too closely, I thought they were sunstone.
Yeah.
They kind of bring that out a little bit. And they definitely next to sunstone really do pop. They look so good.
Yeah, it's a unique orange gemstone. A little different.
And I'm almost to where we're going to add some brios. Okay, so I got to right about here. And that's the spot I stopped before bringing on the first brio. So let me grab some of the turquoise ones. I do think I have them loose still. Yeah, I got those. Okay, so getting the brio on. And one side will be smaller than the other. Find the side you can get through, go through that side. So you notice it was a little tighter on that side, but it'll definitely work. Just gotta flip it. And
yeah, it's so much easier just flipping it. That's amazing.
Yeah, that works like 99% of the time, almost always.
Amazing.
Sometimes I have to finesse it a little, but. And now what I'm doing here is I'm adding 2 11 seed beads. And that is because we wanted to be able to have them they'd be too close, I guess is the right way to say it. They'd be a little too close together with just the one. So the secret there is just putting 2 of your spacers, and that is approximately a 2 millimeter spacing. A little more than that. You could even say 3 if you want. Because I think these Miyuki? They are, right?
Yeah, the 11-0s. Yeah,
okay,
Miyuki.
So those are going to be like it's a 2.4 millimeter space in that case. So any bead you have that's around about that will work really good for this. Or just 2 11-0s. That's always the easiest way to go. And then here is the next brio. This is the sunstone.
And then the chrysocolla again.
Oh yes, I keep calling it the. This is the chrysocolla. I think it's because I don't know how to say chrysocolla. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a funny word.
I know I like it. It's a beautiful stone.
And I love this idea with the stringing that I think folks should try is laying, have the longer one in the center, and then you have using the pear brio, and then use the heart brios on either side. Yeah, the way that it just creates that scallop, that fan, it's subtle, but it's a really nice touch.
Yeah, it comes out so pretty. Let me bring that down so you can see a little more what we're doing.
I know it looks very intentional. I think it gives you, I don't know, I think if you do it, it'll just kind of give that designer's eye to your design.
For sure. There's just so many things that, popped in my mind for what to do with these that I probably could have done 4 or 5 different ideas.
Yeah. Well, I am also going to be challenging folks here at the shop to make with brios this month. So I'm planning to do it. Shira's game. Hopefully I can get Sam to participate because we really want to have inspiration all month long. So, and everyone's going to come up with something totally different. So look out and Danielle is going to have a second class with brios this month. She's going to give us a little preview of her design at the end of class today. But just look out. This month is all about brios.
It's going to be so good.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I'm going to have to get some more of these in. They are so pretty. Look at that. The way that it just looks, I don't know. I'm in love with it. Okay, and then one of these beautiful ones. So just joyful stringing. Can't go wrong. And I made a little mistake. I'm going to take apart and show you. I just put 1. I got into my flow and it just started. But I really...
Oh, that's interesting to see, though. Yeah, they end up being closer together.
What you'll end up with is it'll do this when you tighten. Which it's a design choice. Like you could go for that if you want. But it's going to put a bend in your wire.
Yeah.
Maybe that's okay. It is a bracelet after all. So, but I ended up taking it apart. I did that first when I was making it for the first time. And I just felt that it laid and flowed and was wearable, more wearable, if I added the two.
Mm.
That said, though, I like both. I think it does look good either way. Or with none there. That wasn't on.
We're trying every way. I love it.
I know, right? That one does not want. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, some seed beads just like to dance away.
They do. And I've been experimenting because I feel like I could probably bring the mat back. But it was something changed where like the focus with the mat was not working anymore. Even though I did that for years, not a problem. It just kind of looks so much better with just a nice flat paper background when I'm on streaming. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat back out what I did here on the way to the Brios. So I need two of my little universe ones. Renaming all your gemstones. I actually, I stole that from my son. He called it the universe ball, and he wanted one. I told him, after I teach, you can have one of the universe ball. And then he started to make
Yes.
And he's
I
like,
kind of like,
if you have more, I'll take more. I'm like, no.
Yeah, see, I want more than one.
He figured he was just going to go for it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, he'll take the whole strand.
Yeah. He'll ask me, what are you going to do with them? I'm like, lots of things. And I have more of the fire polish. I just need to find them. I put them somewhere.
Do your kids ever have an interest in making jewelry?
Yeah, so my youngest likes to. He's into it.
Okay.
He has, so he'll start things, but then he'll get distracted and go find something else interesting and then come back later after I've cleaned it up and where his stuff is.
That's little kid. Yeah, little kid focus. That makes sense.
Yeah. But I do think there's a spark there, and I am going to highly encourage it.
Yeah.
As he has an eye. I have made things that he did the palette for, and people have gone crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, so he definitely has something there, a little gift. And he makes bold combinations too. Like he'll put stuff together that I wouldn't have thought of. I'm like, hang on, that's genius. Okay, so we're almost complete here. So I've got, let's see. Oh yeah, we just need to finish it out with the fire polish and we got it. Okay, so I love these little fire polishes. All right, we're good with stringing. And there's our bracelet. So if you wanted to make that longer, you could add another one of these segments. Each of those little segments is going to give you about an inch. So a repeat of the gemstones with the 2 fire polish. If you wanted to go shorter, you could just maybe do only 1 gemstone, but I really liked the way that came out, looking just like so symmetrical like that. And so now I can save some of my beading wire. So see how I have all this going on over here. I'm just going to slide it down. Be careful not to lose my ends there.
Yeah, that's where it gets dangerous.
Yeah, I'm not going to get too overzealous. We're going to just be, that's a good careful length right there. Okay, so let's crimp this end first. I'm just going to use some regular 2x2 crimps. And I grabbed copper just because I'm going to use a copper clasp on there. So I just need 2 of those.
Yeah, and the 2x2 size or size 2, 2 millimeters. Those are often the numbers I hear with the crimps, but the 2x2 crimps work well on the size fine soft flex. That's what they recommend. So it's nice because you can use it on the medium too. So it's nice that you can use the same size crimp on both of them.
That is really nice. Yeah, otherwise you'd have to have such a collection.
Yeah.
I went right to the bar and had no problems because this fire polish start, and because it's such a tiny toggle ring anyway, I didn't have any trouble clasping it.
Okay.
If you're using
you often want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna add, for folks, you often want to avoid having large beads right by the toggle bar because it can make it tricky to actually put on your clasp later.
Exactly. Or, test it before you crimp or something like that. But this one you'll be okay, especially if you do something like that. Yeah. And so let's just do the bar side first. I'm gonna put that on there.
Folks are chatting about kind of color palettes and design ideas in the chat, which I love. They're kind of saying, okay, I really like the obsidian brios on the site. Like, which ones would you pair with it? So if folks have other ideas, they're like, okay, I definitely want this brio. Which one should I pair with it? I love this creative discussion in the comments. So welcome for folks who are watching live. Definitely add your ideas, or if you're watching the replay, you can add your ideas for which of the gemstone combinations would you do? Add that in the comments. I'd love to know. Because there's also some amethyst, some brand new amethyst brios in 3 different shades. Like, you can go for the lighter, the medium, or the darker. So I'd be curious what folks would pair with that.
Yeah, me too. Oh, that sounds awesome. I just brought the end through. One cool thing about using fine is you can feed the end through, and I just trim it after a seed bead because I know this fire polish will come along and any little end pokeyati will just tuck right into it. So that side is good. And the brios, gently slide them. They'll kink your wire. So just really gently bring those down.
At what point are we adding the tassel? Is that when we're completely done?
Yeah, I put it on right at the end with a jump ring.
Okay. Oh, easy. Nice.
So I wasn't sure if I could crimp around it. I thought it would maybe just kind of move in the direction of my crimper. And so you do want to give this a little bit of flow. So what I do when I do my crimps like this, number one, I'm not a brave crimper. I crimp with fear in my heart. But I'll kind of like do this circle thing with it to see before I do the final crimp. So I'll get that on there. And I'm going to go ahead and feed this through a few beads. I'm going to do what I did before. I'm going to go through a seed bead, a fire polish, and another seed bead. It seemed to work really well last time. Get that loop to be, let's pull a little bit of air out of that. There we go. I'm going to go for right about that.
Stephanie Marie says, have no fear.
Yes. And everything looks flowy. Everything seems pretty good there. So I'm going to bravely crimp now. And being careful of my seed bead. Okay. And then I'm going to put some pressure on this while I trim it. There we go. So I just need to grab a jump ring really quick.
And someone was asking about what kind of metals we're using today. So we used a black onyx color for the stringing wire in the fine size. And then all of the metal components are copper. And then earlier we did use, was it either like a bronze or a brass wire?
Oh, yeah. And that was just because I didn't have the antique copper color.
But it kind of blended pretty well.
Yeah, I feel like this one actually, if I'd not tried it, I may have never known how cool.
Yeah.
Because I think it really does also pull out the ear wire I used, and just it looks really cool together.
Yeah, so blending the antique bronze and copper is what we did today for folks who are asking.
They do have antique copper though, I think, and I swear.
Oh, for wire, yeah, you could do that too for sure.
It was probably in one of the little kits, the little monthly kits. I probably have it in there, and then like it's somewhere, right? So I have another tassel. Let me grab my little tassel right here.
Okay, someone was asking, how do you get the jump ring into the tassel? So that seems
so I have a green one and an orange one. Do you have a preference? We did green on this one.
Oh, I want the orange one. I love that. I mean, orange and blue are my colors, so I'm gonna go orange.
This came with the beautiful sunstone, if you're looking for that one.
Nice. I know it always matches. It's the best.
So pretty. And so it comes with basically these brios are strung on what to me looks like a really fine beading wire. It kind of behaves like one, right? I
Yeah.
think that's what this is. And it is just
I mean, it has a crimp on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I very carefully trying very hard not to cut, because this part right here, the little silver, that's actually silk wrapped cord, thick cord there. I don't want to cut any of those little tinsels. So I'm going to be super, super careful. And one way you can be super careful is turn the side of your cutter, so that's the flush side, toward the crimp side. So you know the open side is less likely to cut those pretties. And then I'm just going to go underneath the crimp and just gently trim it right there. And then it should just pop right off. And you've got a tiny little hole there. I mean, these tassels, honestly, I would buy these if they just sold tassels. They're so cute. There's just such a bonus of getting a gemstone strand. And I was able to get my jump ring through, no problem.
Nice.
So think about that for earrings. And I just went directly to the beading wire. I made my loop a little more generous on this side, about 4 millimeter loop there. So I can just get the jump ring on there. And these little tassels are the little works of art. I don't know if you've ever made your own tassels, but they're handmade, right? They look handmade to me. So yeah, there's those together. Oh, I love them.
Fabulous. Oh my God, so pretty. Would you lay everything out, the necklace, the earrings, and the bracelet together?
Yeah, let me grab the earrings really quick. And here is that beautiful necklace. And this one, same exact method of construction, just stringing on the same beading wire. Just a little bit different pattern. Another thing I love about that beading wire is so flowy. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, great flexibility.
21? Yeah. It's a 21 strand. That's a good flexibility for this design.
And that is our full collection. So yeah, we've showed you how to make the earrings and the bracelet. The necklace comes together in a very similar way to the bracelet. So you can take a look at the thumbnail picture from this class, or I have a few pictures in the Brio shop on our website, so you can look closely and follow the pattern exactly. But this is, oh my God, to be able to wear all of these, like, I would feel so special. Like, what a look. What a fun look.
Yeah. Oh, this would make an incredible gift if you think about like the holidays coming up. Someone would be very, very delighted to open this and see that.
That collection. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to give folks a little bit of a preview. So this is our first design, but we really want to share a lot of inspiration this month. Will you give a preview of the design that will be in your next Brio class?
Yes, I have it in progress right now, ready to have its clasp put on it. I just want to string a few more beads. And I'm playing with the length still. I haven't totally settled on the length that I want. But I'm also going to finish it on a video. So these, I believe, are amethyst.
Oh yeah. Wow, it is so decadent.
I love this one. This one is really fun.
And I'm so excited for when we get to learn this from this class, because I don't know, maybe you could hold it up a little closer, but it is a really unique wire technique that you came up with. I have not seen that before. And it's the way that it's incorporated into the stringing is so unique.
Yeah.
So look out for this class, guys. That's going to be on our channel soon.
It was an accidental creation the first time I did it. So there's a whole story.
Cool. Yeah, because it's a way to because obviously you could, like we've done today, you could string the brios right onto this, but this adds a little more length and even more movement to it.
It does. It gives them some swing, and I also feel like it gives the metal gives it a completely different look.
Yeah,
because you could bring
the
in any
silver is a
color.
part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I can see this same design. In fact, I just might have to do it because I still have enough of these. But how about this with the vintage bronze?
Yes.
I mean, just like that. So that's going to have to happen. I just think it needs to. And I could still use the same green pyramid brio for the center and it would look cool. Or maybe this one just doesn't have a center brio and it's just all collarbone length. Just think like, what was the opera length? Not
like
opera length.
Cleopatra or
yeah, like the ones that just like for
across the collarbones. Yeah.
So that's kind of my dream there.
Awesome.
To kind of make that expand, and so I might even just same wire that I was using before. I might use that same exact one.
Yeah.
With this one on something like that. It's gonna be so.
And it'll give it'll have a completely different look to it, even though it'll be the same technique. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be very different because this will just look like it's hanging on tree branches with that color. So for fall, and I do think maybe even a little mini version because you can do this with just a few. You don't have to do a whole. You can just put like 3 in the center.
Yeah.
And suspend like that was the original one that I tried when I sent it to you. It looked just like that. So that would be cool too.
Fabulous. All right. Well, that is coming. I will just remind folks again, as you can see here, August is all about brios here at Sam's Bead Shop. So we look, oh my God, you see this photo I did put in the background that Jessie took just to show off the brios, like amazing. But here they are in person right in front of me. We have built quite a collection here and 3 or 4 of these are brand new as of today. They have not been shown in a live sale. We wanted to give folks who are watching class today first access on the app or the website. So just take a look at these beauties. All right. Well, let me take that off the screen for a moment. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. One moment. There we go. Wonderful. Well, that is our class today. That is our inspiration. I hope you are feeling the Brio spirit this month. Thank you so much, Danielle, for showing us this.
Oh, thank you. I had so much fun. It's really beautiful.
You're posting a lot lately, and I love it, over on your channel. What is the name of your either Facebook group or YouTube channel so that folks can see your other tutorials?
If you go to daniellewickesjewelry.com, I have a pattern and tutorial section, which is a bunch of inspo. And I'm really doing a lot of YouTubes lately. So I got one coming up tomorrow at 11 for a new Delica mix. So it's going to be
wonderful.
Pretty fun. And then we're working on some other stuff too.
We got ideas coming. So if you want more seed beading ideas, wire work, stringing, all of that, definitely check out Danielle's YouTube channel. You will not regret it.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. That is our hour today. We hope you have a lovely weekend. We'll see you later. Bye, everyone.